I want to talk about something that I've done recently that has made my life so much easier. As I'm getting older and my back is getting weaker, I have started to spend more time seated playing on gigs instead of being up and moving around with the band. And I started thinking about, I could use a walk-up stand. But I looked at some of the ones that are available. There's really only two on the market right now. One of them's $500 and the other one was $400. And I thought, well, I've got stuff laying around the house. I could probably make something that'll work. And the first one I made for my Fender it was just made out of a regular Meinl music stand. And I didn't have to modify it much, and it came out great. Works really well for my jazz bass or P bass. This one I made for my alembic bass, and this is about a 12-pound bass, so it definitely pushes the limits of what you can expect from one of these stands. But it's solid. It never moves. I can push and pull on this thing. It's not tilting and falling over anywhere. There's a little bit of movement, which keeps it very natural feeling when you're playing. If it was completely locked down, it would feel odd. But it moves around just a little bit with your body so that you're comfortable. This thing virtually disappears on stage. I wear usually black anyway, and with this black backing plate on here, and I could even spray paint this black if I wanted to, and it becomes virtually unnoticeable when you're looking up on stage and not analyzing everything. It's exceedingly comfortable. It has taken all the strain off my back and certainly off my shoulders because I don't have a 12-pound weight on a strap. And everybody has walked around it, bumped into it, done everything. I just leave it up there, and a $20,000 bass sitting on a stand like this, you'd think I'm crazy, but nobody's made it remotely likely it's going to fall over. So don't worry about stability. The main thing is that you can modify one of these stands for very cheap. Like I say, the first one I made out of the Meinl music stand. This one I made out of a laptop stand by Pile. 34 bucks on Amazon, and just a few added pieces, and I've got a very, very usable thing for me, and it's saved me a lot of pain. I'll show you how I made it. Okay, this is the stand I made for my alembic bass. Using a laptop or audio-visual projector stand. And basically it's the same as a music stand. But this one is made by Pyle, P-Y-L-E. And it's got enough adjustment for me where it's going to allow me to angle the bass so that it's at a comfortable position for me. And then, as you can see, I've added a piece of angle stock, which is aluminum, bolted that to it. And I'll show you how all this works in a minute. But it basically uses the entire Pyle stand, other than the section I cut out so that I have clearance for getting to the higher notes on the instrument. But I'll show you how this thing works. Okay, this is all there is to it. It's really very simple design, but incredibly solid. If I take the instrument, there's a little bit of wiggle, but it isn't going anywhere. It's solid to the stand. It's not likely to tip over. the key with this is to try and get your balance point centered over the stand shaft that comes up. And if you can get, it kind of biased that way so that you've got, not too much hanging out on one end. I mean, I've got that neck way out there, but, it helps to move the base over to one side. And what I did, because the pile stand allows you to kind of move this assembly over, I just slid it as far as I could over to the right, left a little bit of a gap on that side. This gives me full adjustment for forward and backwards tilt, and then I've got adjustment for height. But you can see it's a fairly beefy shaft on this thing, so that you can be assured it's not gonna be a problem as far as solidness and rigidity for holding a heavy base like this. This is probably a 12-pound base, and I have no worries about it or issues. What I did, and you can make adjustments for the height of where you want this piece to go. I've got another adjustment here, and I could put another one here if I wanted to tilt the base a little higher, and then you just set it to whatever's comfortable for you as far as the upward angle of the neck. And that is plenty solid. I machined an aluminum shaft with a hole in the center, ran a bolt through it, and then I covered it with a piece of that clear tubing, which fit it perfectly on a 1/2-inch shaft, and that protects the finish on the base. I ran another one down here, and that is basically the same, and that keeps the base from moving in this direction. And then I ran this little latch with a rubber stopper on the back side of it, and that just rotates around so that I can have something that keeps the base from wanting to slip off in the forward direction. And then to make sure everything's secure, I just bolted in a piece of a strap, ran it up to here to my strap button, and that assures that the base isn't going to tilt down on the neck side, towards the neck. And that's all you need to keep it very stable. Once again, this piece of angle aluminum is a plenty big platform. It's 2 inches depth, and that gives it plenty of area to sit on. And then I just took a little bit of thin foam padding and glued that on with some contact cement, and that gives a nice soft area for the base to sit on. As far as comfort standing at it, it feels incredibly good. I don't feel like it's alien or weird. It just is very comfortable. Once you get it set where you want it, it's always right there. You don't have that weight on your shoulders. The 3 discs that I have herniated in my back are not screaming at me anymore. And the base, once again, is very secure on stage. I've got people walking around it, bumping into it, and it hasn't even, thought about tilting over or falling. So overall, it's been very, very solid. The main thing was that I wanted to get a stand that had fairly beefy legs and a beefy center shaft, so that it was less prone to wobbling. But this has worked really well. And for $34 on Amazon, this stand really does a great job. The piece of angle aluminum cost me more than the stand. So you could make it with a, a 2x4 or something if you wanted to bolt that onto it. But, I'm trying to keep it light and easy to transport. It folds up just like your regular music stand would. And, by cutting out this area here, it gives me access to those upper frets. There's no, impediments to getting up to those top frets. I have another stand that I did for my Fender Jazz Bass, and it follows the contour completely on that one, and it works great too. That one had a metal back, and it was a regular music stand, so I didn't have to buy the aluminum, angle piece for it. But at any rate, this has been a really great way to save my back as I'm getting older, and I'm still playing 3-hour gigs and sometimes back-to-back 6-hour jobs. So it can get really tough when you're having to stand with a 12-pound bass around your neck for the whole time. So this has really been great, and it'll keep me playing until I'm 100 years old.